guys, I'm just gonna do a reintroductory video of us. I originally made a YouTube account because I wanted to document my pregnancy and so I could look back on it, but a whole heap happened while I was pregnant. I moved a few times, a lot of stuff went down, and it was just a bit of a crazy time, and it was hard to film, and I never really had stable internet, so I couldn't keep up to date with my videos. It was just a really hard time to film, but about 3 weeks ago I was accepted and got a house of our own, and right now we're in front of the heater because it's really cold, because it's winter here. But anyway, this is Ava, and she is maybe 2 weeks off being 6 months, I think. Maybe she might be a bit younger than that, might be 3 weeks, but she will be 6 months on the 15th, which is crazy because like she's just getting so big, and she's trying to grab the camera, we're trying to grab the tripod. She's a very cute little girl. I love everything about her. You want to say hello? Yeah. What's up there? So she was born in March. On the 15th of March 2015, she weighed a big 9 pound 8 ounce, 4.320 grams, so 4.3 kilos. She had a head circumference of 34 centimeters, and she was 53 centimeters long, I'm pretty sure. And I had her vaginally, but not really naturally. I wasn't progressing past 4 centimeters, so I ended up getting an epidural. So I just wanted to sleep. I was sick and tired of my labor. I got induced, so I labored overnight, but then they gave me pain medicine. Oh, are you gonna talk? She's talking. You're talking. She's in a dress because we have the heater on, and I wanted her in wearing something really cute right now, even though it's cold. But she's not cold because I put the heater on her like right in front of it, and she's blowing bubbles right now. Think you're clever. Oh, you're a bit wobbly. She's loving the camera. So I had her vaginally, but not really naturally because I had an epidural. But I got induced. What happened was I went along to one of my second last appointments, I think it was, in my pregnancy, and like just a routine checkup to see your belly, I guess, and hear the heartbeat and whatnot. And my midwife noticed that I had swollen feet and swollen hands, and so she did a couple of tests and came back, and she did the little strip thing, and she came back and said, well, you actually got high protein levels. She said, well, I need to draw some blood and for you to go off to the hospital, and because the thing where you hand in your blood is there, and to go to just the maternity area, I forgot what it's called, where they like assess you before you go up to labor and delivery. And I was like, sweet, alright. I really wanted my baby, so I was like, oh my god, maybe I'm gonna have my baby. So the people who did more tests and monitored me for hours, and then they were like, well, we want to induce you, but can you come back tomorrow? And I was like, oh, okay. And so I came back the next day, and they were like, well, actually, we've got no room today, can you come back tomorrow? And that day was my due date, so I was like, sweet, getting induced on my due date. And so I made it full to 40 weeks and they well, funny story was I was supposed to rock up at the hospital at 3, but I actually rocked up at 4 because I decided to go shopping, as you know. I really wanted the last minute things, so we got to the hospital late, but it didn't matter because they said they would have turned us away again if we came at 3 because I was super busy then, so it was a good thing. And so then they showed me to my room, gave me the forms, filled them all out, put the drip in, which hurt. Oh my gosh. Getting the cannula in your hand kills. Well, I thought it kills. I had the belt thingy over my belly to monitor contractions. I was really excited. I was Snapchatting my best friend. And then, oh, that was the night where we have like crazy fireworks here where I live, and it was such a bummer that I missed out because I was like always saying what happens if my waters break that night, and it would be crazy, but turns out I was getting induced in the hospital. Anyway, my contractions actually were brought on too fast that night, so they actually gave me some, I don't know, like codeine and sleeping stuff to knock me out pretty much, and to sleep through my contractions overnight. I wasn't sleepy at all, and the nurse came in and was like, I need you to be off your phone and to go to sleep because tomorrow is a really big day. And I was like, yeah, alright. So I put my phone away, could not sleep at all. Then I obviously fell asleep and woke up about 4 in the morning, and Ava's father was awake, and I just remember needing to go to the bathroom, and I could barely walk because I was just so like dizzy from wearing off from all the drugs the hospital gave me. It was crazy. Anyway, so and then I went back to my bed from the bathroom and sat on the bed. I could not go back to sleep, so I just started watching like nighttime TV, I guess, until sunrise came on. About 7 in the morning, Scott decides to go downstairs and get something to eat. And the like midwives and stuff come into my room, and nurses, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna give you a quick check and see how much you've dilated overnight. And I was like, alright. Really uncomfortable. Hated that one. That internal sucked. They were like, oh, we can actually see rah rah rah. I don't know what, I can't remember now, but I remember they saying they could see something. And they were like, well, we're just gonna break your waters. And then they inserted a little needle thingy, right? It looks like a sewing needle. Didn't feel it at all, and all I felt was next minute gush, warm liquid, and I was like, oh my goodness. If I knew they were gonna break my waters, I would have got up and probably done my makeup and hair so I looked semi-nice for when I delivered, because as soon as they broke my waters, I was leaking, like gushing, for at least 2, 3, 4 hours. And then by 2 hours later, I was in pain, and they were upping my dosage for the, through the IV thingy or whatever, in my arm, cannula. So they're upping that. I was breathing through it. I loved the shower. I got in the bath. I was in there for a little bit, but I just hated it because I'm a short person. I'm only 5'1", so when I'm on my hands and knees in the bath is like here, so it's kind of like, it's kind of uncomfortable, and the bath is like on a weird angle level, so it was just awkward with the belly and in pain, and I had to have the monitors on because they have to be on at all times because I was induced, and it just sucked. They had to get me out of the bath to do another check. I had only progressed only a little bit, and it was only 4 centimeters. I only progressed 2 centimeters since 7:30 in the morning, and this was about 5 in the afternoon. And because I was induced, they gave me a time frame like to deliver, otherwise I would have had to have a cesarean. So they gave me to 9, and it was 5. I was like, well, I'm not progressing at all, so like I'm giving up. I'm going to try all methods right now. Then the nurses did a switch over and of like the night times come on, and they decided to up my dosage again, and they I don't know what happened, but it just went from being tolerable to a contraction every 20 seconds pretty much, and that hurt. So I tried the gas, tried being on all fours, I tried laying down, tried being on my side, tried swaying, tried rocking, tried massaging, tried bouncing on the ball. I wish I got back in the shower, to be honest. That might have been good, but I could barely breathe through the contractions. If I could do my labor all over again, I would totally work on my breathing techniques. It was just pretty full on. So I tried the gas, and because my contractions were coming every 20 seconds, not even kidding, I had no time, or it felt like no time, to be able to catch my breath between inhaling the gas. So I would inhale it, and then I would stop when you're not having a contraction, try to get my breath, but all of a sudden it'd be back again. And so it was like, I felt like I couldn't even breathe properly. So I only had 2 puffs of that, because it just wasn't working. I just couldn't do it. So I got the epidural. The anesthesiologist was really quick, maybe because I was screaming at that point, so like before he got there, so maybe that's why he came really quick. They made me lean over, they inserted it in my spine. I had to say contraction pretty much all the time because I was having a contraction every 20 seconds. So I got the epidural, kept having to click the button every 15 minutes. And at first I was like, no, I'm only going to click it every now and then. I want to feel my labor. And then by the end of it, I was clicking it every 15 minutes if I wasn't asleep. Okay, so I had to sleep, got to 9, and I woke up about 8:30, and they were going to check me, and I was just briefing in my head like, alright, this is it. I'm going to get wheeled up to theatre. I'm going to have a cesarean. Like, because I've always been told that it's really common for inductions to not work and to be unsuccessful. So I was like, alright, well, I've got to just kind of like mentally prepare myself that I'm going to be wheeled into theatre. Come in, check me, and they're like, oh, you're 9 centimeters, you're ready to go. And I was like, what? No. I was like, I can't be 9 centimeters, that's crazy. But I was 9 centimeters, and I was like, well, I've just been briefing in my head this whole time, about half an hour, that I was going to be wheeled into surgery. But I wasn't. So then they came in like straight away, brought in all the tools, laid it all out, got the room ready, they prepped it, and then they were like, alright, we're gonna try to sit you up a little bit and lean you back in the bed, like they put the bed back. And she said that I had to be on my back, I can't move, and then to practice pushing. So I started pushing about 10, I reckon. Oh, it had to be later than that, or it might have not have been, I don't know. Ava was born at 11:59, 1 minute to midnight. So I was only pushing according to the book for an hour and 25 minutes. So I'm not sure. It might have been 11 something. It had to be before 11 because they came in at 9. I'm not sure. I don't even know. I was so high on the epidural, I don't even know. I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and she wasn't coming down at all. And I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and it's really, really hard pushing when you don't know what you're pushing. Like, obviously they like push like you're doing a number 2, and so I was trying, but I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I can't even feel anything, so I'm just pushing in general. Then they were like, well, actually, we might try it on the side. So they tilted me to my side, and they were like, oh, she's crowning. And that's all it took. And she crowned, and then I was pushing and pushing, and they're like, whoa, slow down. And she came out real fast, and then her head, and then I was expecting her shoulder, like, you know when the head comes out and the shoulders turn, I was expecting that to go on for a lot longer, but it didn't. She came out within like maybe 3-4 seconds later, and the umbilical cord was around her neck about 3 or 4 times, according to Scott, and so the midwife lassoed it off or something like that, and next minute she's placed on me, and everyone was like, Ebony, quick, and I was like, what? And then I was like, oh my gosh, like I knew she had come out, like I felt it all, like her come down and out, but I didn't process like, oh, she's out, like she's out, like, oh my god. And so she was placed on me, and she was staring around, and next minute she cries and cries and cries and cries and cries, and she cries exactly the same way when she gets out of bath. And then I was pretty much so low on my bed that I just wanted to sit up and hold her, but I couldn't. I wasn't relaxed enough, so I just was like, Scott, you take her. So she had skin to skin maybe about 6-7 minutes, and the umbilical cord was delayed, like cutting it was delayed, which is what I wanted, and he got to cut it, and then he held her, and during this time they're stitching me up because I tore 2nd degree and almost 3rd. They were gonna wheel me in for theatre after all that, and I was like, no. They stitched me up right then, and it took maybe like 40 minutes. Yeah. They took everything out of my arm. I had the epidural thing in my back, but they disconnected it, but I had that in my back till like the next morning. Before she got given to Scott, she got put on the scales, and then she got given back to me, and then Scott had her. And then everyone else in the room, my mom and Scott's mum, got to have a hold, and I'm just getting really fussy and impatient right now. I'm getting fussy and impatient. But, and that's how she was born. Oh, don't eat my phone. Just give her my phone to hold and she goes to eat it. Don't eat it. So that's how she was born. She was born 9 pound 8 ounce. I think I said that before. And she was just perfect. It was just a bit crazy, like it was so full on of what do I do, and like I have a tiny baby, like, and this is like at 1 in the morning, so no one's awake, so I can't message anyone and be like, guess what, I just had a baby. It was pretty hard, I won't lie, it was hard, and I wish I had more support. And it was hard because I couldn't move my legs, I couldn't get up and do anything, couldn't go and walk around with her. I could barely lean over the bed. It was just, yeah, that's a downside of having an epidural, I guess, or maybe I just took too much of it, but who knows. But once that wore off that night, I got transferred over into the postnatal room, and I got my own room, and thank goodness for that, because my recovery was pretty tough. Trying to walk, I felt like, ooh, I found it was really hard to walk, and yeah, it was hard, but it was worth it because I got this little monkey. I'm just doing a reintroduction. This is Ava Grace, and obviously I'm no longer pregnant because she's here, and we'll be doing probably weekly videos now, day in the lives and getting ready with us, Oh, you got Mummy's phone. Okay. And I got a new camera. It's Canon G7X, and I really like it. And I got internet, so there'll be never any issues with uploading videos anymore. So if you want me to make a certain video, just write it down in like the comments bar and I will make it, because I need some ideas of what type of videos to film. Yeah. Yay. So that's us, and if you're interested, keep watching our videos because there'll be more of them every week. So bye.